Okay, here we are again, DIY Jeep jobs. Someone asked me what this channel was for, and it's simple. It's about the small stuff that you could do. If I can do this in my garage with some basic tools, then so can you. Yes, I have another one where we do a lot of more, the gearbox swap, etc. That's not what this is about. This is just your simple DIY stuff. And today we're going to be replacing the speakers in our dash. Lots of options available. I went with these Polk 552s, great speaker, and you can actually get them for under 60 bucks a pair if you shop around. So we're going to be doing those. We're also going to be using one of these, or two of these. These are basically your dash pods. The idea behind this is the speaker doesn't mount to the car. The speaker mounts to a bracket and the bracket mounts to the car. You can use a bracket, but if you use one of these pods, what happens is the sound is all reflected forwards instead of escaping out the back. So we're going to be using these. This is stuff called polyfill, and we'll talk about the installation as we go through it, using both these and these. So let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to need our dash pod, our speaker, our connector, and screws to hold it all together. So first thing you want to do, actually, I want to pay attention to this. I have, this is our connector that comes with it. I have added, I've already crimped my spade connectors on the end. If you can see this here, one side has a black stripe. Black stripe is always the negative. Consider electronics. If you have a diode, for example, the cathode is always the one with the black stripe. So follow that back through. You've got your two connectors. On the back of your Polk here, you're actually going to see there's three connectors. Two are marked with plus, positive, and a negative, and then you have this, what looks like a common. It's not a common. Don't use it. It's for when they set up the factory. It basically bypasses or allows them to bypass the crossover. So you're going to use these two here. One is marked positive, this one, and one is marked negative. And on the negative, again, if you're using the one with the black stripe, that will keep it all consistent. So let's go ahead and connect that up. So in the interest of not making you want to watch a boring video, here is the speaker all secured into its pod. There's the wires. And I said I have pre-prepared my connectors. I did that offline with heat shrink tube. Use the grommet if you can. And just remember that the one with the black line is the negative. So that's what we're going to be connected up in our Jeep. So let's go take a look at that. So you might already be familiar with our speaker location. It's in this panel here, and there are just a couple of screws that you need to do to get to it. And they're on the side here. You'll notice they're difficult to get to. So you can either use a smaller screwdriver, you can use one of these, which is just a right angle, or do what a lot of people do, just unhook the door, open it up, give yourself that space. So we're going to remove two screws on the side here, one at the top, one at the bottom. This panel just basically, then unclip, tilt forward a little bit, clip the one at the bottom, and there is our old speaker. That's it right there. So easy enough to remove. We have two screws at the top here, two screws at the bottom. So you can see that we've got the speaker here and this mount. So I'm going to be taking the mount off. Keeping all our screws together so we can find them later. Apologies if you can't actually see this with the light I've got shining on here. We'll see what kind of cable connection we've got at the end here, whether they're plug-in or whether they are crimped or fixed. So get our last screw, keep that together, and there is our speaker. Okay, so these ones are crimped. Not a problem, it's fine, we'll just cut them off. And in fact, you'll be able to see, or maybe you can't, but we have two wires. One is grey, and one is grey with a black stripe. We know black stripe is the negative, so we'll make sure we connect that to the negative on our replacement speaker. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these wires Then I'm going to put some crimp connectors on, heat shrink those, and then connect up our speaker. So let's go and do that. In case anybody's wondering the kind of tools I use, nothing complicated. I have here just an automatic cable stripper and just a bog standard crimp tool. So pull out my cables. This is my small heat sink, heat gun, which allows me just do the heat shrink. Right, heat shrink done. Now we can just plug these in and connect our pod. So there we are, new speaker all installed. All we need to do now is just put our cover back on, bottom, let the clip line up at the top, pop it in, and put our holding screws back in. Done. Whole thing took maybe 20 minutes. Now we've got to go do the other side. Simple enough. Hope you enjoyed.